Welcome to Khas Mulakat. I'm your host, Sonia West. Today we have the pleasure of speaking to two incredible people from the International South Asian Film Festival. Joining us today is Pallavi Sastry, the co-director of ISAFF, who has been instrumental in curating and bringing diverse South Asian voices to the forefront through this festival. Alongside her, we have Pulkit Datta, the artistic director of ISAFF, whose creative vision and dedication have shaped this festival and this unique, compelling lineup. As we gear up for ISAFF 2024, taking place from September 25th to 29th, we're excited to delve into the highlights, themes, and special events that make this year's festival a must attend. Let's dive into our conversation with Pallavi and Pulkit to learn more about ISAFF, what it has in store for us this year. Hello, good morning, and welcome.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning.
We're getting close to the time where it starts.
We're feeling it. We're feeling it for sure.
So we've got a lot of questions and we're really excited, as we are every year. So we're going to start off just to talk about the theme of this year. So the theme of this year's International South Asian Film Festival. What is the theme and why did you choose it?
Yeah, so our theme this year is Crossroads, and the idea of Crossroads is we want to celebrate South Asian arts and culture and filmmaking as the hub of where, other cultures and people intersect. So, historically, South Asia has always been at the crossroads of culture and arts and history and trade. And so we wanted to kind of bring that into the modern world as it's still being a hub and celebrating that as a hub of all these cultures coming together. So that's where the theme of Crossroads comes from.
Okay. Did you want to add to that, Pallavi?
I can, yeah, definitely. I think, in addition to that, I think we wanted to also intersect in terms of genre and style and, different, like you said, different people from different backgrounds coming together to make the art and celebrating that. So
yeah. Okay, so besides films, I know that the festival offers workshops and panels. Could you tell us about the Filmmaker Welcome Retreat featuring a very special guest on September 25th?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a new event for us this year. It's actually added a day for us. So we're a 5-day festival now, which is really great, offering more time to do things. And this one is a new partnership with the Gina Davis Bentonville Film Foundation and Kickstart Entertainment, which is in Vancouver. It's a Vancouver company. And we all came together to create an event that we could provide an intimate environment for our filmmakers that are both showing and distinguished alumni of the festival to come together, meet each other, network holistically, organically, and also meet all of us before the craziness of the festival really starts. And part of the mission of that is to provide access to more industry contacts and things. And we are doing a fireside chat this year with a wonderful actress, Emmy winner, Archie Punjabi, who is obviously a legend for our community in terms of, being one of the first faces we saw in mainstream cinema, and so I think it's really special that she's with us. She can offer some wisdom, guidance, what have you, just by sharing her experience. And we have that lovely conversation as the centerpiece for the retreat.
Yeah, we've definitely come a long way as far as seeing more South Asians on TV, I guess, and in film. So it is good to have maybe that dialogue to see how far we've come, especially with Archie. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think, she's still doing really compelling work, right? Like with Under the Bridge on Hulu, and she's an executive producer now on her show Departure. And so I think it's really great perspective to have from somebody who's kind of run the gamut,
Yeah. So the Biz and Tech panel titled Make It in Canada seems very significant. What is the importance of this panel and what can attendees expect from this?
Sure. So we've been doing this for many years, this Biz and Tech panel every year at the festival. The idea is to bring together the business and the industry side of BC filmmakers and Canadian filmmakers and the industry to kind of talk about how can we collaborate, set up better systems and processes for us to make films locally. And so our goal this year with this panel, we added this idea of Make It in Canada to kind of really emphasize this goal that we have of encouraging more and more filmmakers to not just make films in Canada, but also make BC and Surrey a hub for nurturing storytelling. We have a lot of out-of-town filmmakers coming in, and if we want to inspire them to bring their next projects to Surrey and BC. So that's the goal of that panel.
Okay. Path-breaking actors. So that's a roundtable discussion that's happening with exciting South Asian actors. Can you share details about path-breaking actors? What is this?
Yeah, that was something that Pulkit brought to the table last year in our programming, and we thought it was such a big hit, and so we wanted to do it again, but maybe expand on it.
Okay.
And so we have 5, right, Pulkit? 5 actors on our panel this year. I'll be moderating that one, kind of in the style of like the roundtable discussions at, say, Hollywood Reporter or Variety, or was some of those very well-known sort of web series sort of interview shows, right? And so we wanted to bring together, again, a diverse slate of actors that have had a varied experience in the business, whether it's how they entered the business, where they were plucked out of their lives and they were chosen to be, Miss Marvel, like Iman Vellani, or someone who's been in the game for a really long time and has seen the business change from, doing improv theater in Chicago to being a series regular on television like Parvesh Cheena. So we have really lovely actors like that, and Mauza Makar, Behzad Dabu, and Suraj Sharma as well. So it's going to be a really great discussion, again, to offer perspective on what it took to get to where they are, but also how do we stay consistent and look towards the future for all of us in the business.
Right. That's wonderful that you had that kind of a collaborative effort with inspiration behind it, I guess, inspiring each other with path-breaking actors. That's going to be exciting for them. So I understand there's a special panel in partnership with Lark Productions on the hit CBC TV show Allegiance. What can viewers look forward to in this panel?
So this one's really exciting for us. So we're partnering with Lark Productions this year. A lot of times filmmakers want to get into the TV industry or make a TV show or be in a writer's room. So we kind of want to pull the curtain back and show people how it can be done from the team that made a very successful TV show. So we have the creator of the show, Anar Ali, coming. Nimisha Mukherjee is one of the directors. Manny Mahal is also one of the writers. And then, of course, Nicole Mendez, who's heading Lark Productions on the studio side. So, it's a really exciting panel to bring these creators together to show people, let's talk about the behind the scenes of how we actually made this incredible TV show. So we're really excited about that partnership.
Wonderful. So the workshop, You've Made a Film, Now What? Focuses on innovative distribution and impact strategies for filmmakers. What insights will this workshop provide?
Do you want me to take it?
Yeah,
okay.
Go for it. I get added later.
So one of our goals for ISAFF in general is, we want to add value beyond just screening a film at the festival or bringing filmmakers there. So we kind of talked about internally, how do we do things for filmmakers that just add more to their career and their film's journey, right? So this workshop came out of that, is let's do a workshop where we have a very interactive session with our filmmakers on, okay, you made this film, you brought it to ISAFF, what do you do next?
Right.
Exactly, and now what? And so we'll be kind of, again, a lot of the work we do is about transparency and kind of sharing knowledge and resources with each other. So in this one, similarly, we have producers who'll be talking about their experiences where they did something creative with distribution or something really interesting with their impact campaign or their marketing of their film. And so we really want to talk with filmmakers, with these producers, of how do we strategize for other films, and how do we kind of duplicate these processes or think outside the box, really.
That's really helpful, because I think literally, now what? I mean, a lot of us are left hanging. We've got that creativity and we've got ideas, but we don't have that system of what do we do next. So that's really great that you don't just let them free. You kind of help them along. Pallavi, what did you want to add to that?
Yeah, I wanted to say that, I think for a long time, and it's still an issue now, with first time, when you make a film for the first time, even maybe third or fourth time, really amazing films can kind of get lost in the shuffle because there aren't resources in this stage that we're doing this workshop for, like the distribution and the impact part. And impact, really what that means is you are finding the message of your movie and you're going to where the audience is for that message, right? And then that sort of builds a groundswell around your work. And that holistic marketing strategy is really what brings any film to the main stage and to the mainstream now and gets eyes on the film. So we felt like, you know, we've all made movies and we know that it's been so hard to get people to pay attention to them, you know, to be frank. And so we wanted to kind of get to the heart of the matter here, because it's so heartbreaking whenever you pour yourself into something like a movie, it comes out and you're like, oh my God, nobody's seeing it. How do I get people to pay attention to it? So why not start that strategy earlier?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Actually, there are a lot of artists that go unnoticed because they don't have that support or that recognition. So this is a great initiative for all the artists involved. So let's talk about the feature films. That's what we want to know about. Tell us all about all the highlights.
Yeah, I can start. So opening night this year, we have a lovely film by a first-time feature filmmaker named Lakshmi Priya Devi, and it's called Boong. And she had her world premiere at TIFF just a few weeks ago. It's got a wonderful team of producers behind it as well. Some guy you might have heard of named Farhan Akhtar. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but and Ritesh Sidwani, his partner, Alan McCallix. Oh my God, I get his name wrong every time. Alan McCallix at Suitable Pictures. But a really wonderful team that came together to make this movie about these two young boys, and it's a story of childhood resilience and friendship and, you know, chosen family, but also reconciling with your given family. And it's a really, really stunning film, and that's our opening night film. So I'm really looking forward to people seeing that.
Pulkit, did you want to add to that?
Sure. We have some other really exciting films as well. Like, speaking of first-time features, we do have, you know, we love celebrating people starting out and making their first film. So another first-time feature is a film called Privacy, which is by director Sudeep Kanwal, who's you know, it's a really, and it stars Rajshri Deshpande, and it's a really sort of edge of your seat kind of thriller about a surveillance police officer in Mumbai who kind of gets really tangled up in the people that she's surveilling. So it's very kind of gritty and thrilling, exciting kind of film. So that's another first-time feature. We have a feature called We Strangers, which is another first-time feature by Anuvalia. Again, it really kind of like a sharp commentary on race and power and you know, a lot of really interesting things happening in that film as well. And then our closing night film is Shook by Amarwala, also a first-time feature. And again, a beautiful film about a father-son relationship set in Toronto. So yeah, we have many other films too, but these are just some we wanted to highlight. Pallavi, I don't know if you had any more.
Yeah, I think I just want to second all of those. I think, you know, we say things like first-time feature filmmakers, but all of these filmmakers have made many things before this, and I think that's what's kind of what we're trying to say here is, like, you know, they're at the crossroads of their careers with these movies, right? And so these features are really like, oh, this is my moment, you know, this is my breakout moment. Like, for example, Anuvalia, who made We Strangers, she's one of the most consistently working directors in television. She directs on Sex and the City, she directs on She-Hulk and Never Have I Ever, and all of these shows that everyone's heard of, but this is her first feature film.
Right. I think oftentimes people think it's just an overnight success story, but there's hard work that goes into it. A lot of hours, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. What other things can we highlight during this conversation to get our viewers excited?
I would say our pass is really worth it this year. Our Fraser Pass, our All Access Pass, and what it gets you into, in addition to all of the things we just talked about, is we have some really targeted events on the daily this year. One of them being a fashion and film party on Friday evening on September 27th. And that is really to celebrate another really important part of the filmmaking process, which is fashion, wardrobe, styling, and costume composition. And so Farah Hassan, one of our board members, who's, you know, a veteran in the industry, she brought together a couple of really wonderful designers who are based in Vancouver and BC. And we're trying to celebrate this, you know, often overlooked part of the process, which is so, so important.
Right, because I think everything, you're right, everything is creative. So it could be right from the costumes to the set, to the music, to everything, the artistic part of it, everything. You know, it's all one big project for everyone involved. That fashion and film night, is that open to the public?
That's open if you have passes.
Ah, okay. So tell me a bit about how to get tickets. The passes that you mentioned, there's, I think, was there 3 options?
There's 2 options, I believe, right? You can check me on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can go to our website, which is isaff.ca, ISAFF.ca. You can buy individual tickets to any of the screenings and the panels. And for a lot of the parties, they're included in our one pass, which is called Fraser Pass.
Okay.
So Fraser Pass is all access to everything that we're doing. So like Pallavi said, is really worth it this year. We have lots of amazing things. Yeah. And then we have a different pass called the Crescent Pass, which is screenings and panels only. And so for those, that's for people who just want to focus on those events. Right. And then we do have discounted passes for seniors and students. So we want it to be accessible to everyone and not, have a barrier to entry for our festival.
Right. So that's perfect. Everybody can come and enjoy. So I guess some of the panels and the workshops might be it might be good for someone that's starting out in the industry to just kind of get some ideas and just build on their own ideas, I guess.
Yeah, and we're at these panels also. It's we all try to be really accessible. If you're attending a panel, it's because we want you to meet us and meet the people that are involved and get as much as you can out of it, because you decided to come and spend your time and you thought you would get something out of it. So you should definitely take advantage of that if you're able to come to any of those panels, get a Crescent Pass, get single tickets to things like it's. I hope that we can see so much more of the community turnout this year.
Yeah, it's really nice that you're bringing topics that aren't traditionally South Asian, or what we perceive as what South Asian is okay. Growing up, the Bollywood films and what we were told was cinema, versus now what you're bringing, which is just humanity. So if you can speak.
So happy to hear you say that. Yeah, go for it, Pulkit.
Sure. I mean, one of the things we talked about when we started the programming was we wanted to obviously align with the theme of Crossroads. So I think that allows us to bring in a lot of different topics. Yeah. But also, we wanted our community and our filmmakers and everyone to really engage in conversation around things that we may not be able to talk about as openly, or, we have, for example, a block of short films. The theme is called Beneath the Surface, and they're all kind of stories that are looking at things that are kind of not, unspoken things or kind of taboo topics and things like that. So that's a really interesting block. We have other great short film blocks as well, but the idea is, we want this film festival setting to be where you come and explore, you kind of, widen your horizons, you learn something, you meet amazing people. And also, what's been really beautiful about our festival leading up to this year has been we've been really active in building community. And so even a lot of our filmmakers who were there last year are coming back because they love being part of this experience. And then people locally are excited to come back and engage with each other and talk to each other. So I think once you create this community environment, people become more open to talking about topics and things that they may not, ordinarily talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about the opportunities. Maybe Pallavi, you can speak to this. The opportunities economically, socially, whatever it brings to this area, Metro Vancouver area, Surrey specifically. What does it do for our city?
Yeah, just starting with our festival alone, I mentioned it's a 5-day festival, but we're employing as many people locally as possible in order to carry out the operations of the festival. We're featuring local talent. We are all the vendors involved in all the events. And so economically, I feel like the film industry is never something to overlook, right? And with the Biz and Tech and Make in Canada panel that we're talking about, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to empower this area, this region, to be very self-sufficient in this industry, right? It's like, they should be able to easily, like James Monk, for example, at the Surrey Film Office, he's very helpful in he wants to make the process of making things in Surrey so accessible and easy. He helps with the permitting process and all this stuff. So there's so many entities involved that are already invested in this industry. And I think that's what we're trying to highlight with the festival. In addition to the work of the filmmakers, we're trying to show that this is a sustainable business. It's a sustainable way to make a living in this region.
Yeah, I think the misconception in the South Asian community has always been you can't make money or make a life in film or cinema. It's always, English or math or science. But it's nice to see that you guys are, paving the way for younger people that are watching this to maybe one day aspire to become involved in film, and it's trending that way. So thank you for that. If you want to give a message to our younger viewers or our older viewers or any viewers you want, you can give them a message right now before we close up.
Go for it, Pulkit.
Sure. I think the message I will give is, come to ISAFF. You'll be surprised. You'll be entertained. You will thoroughly enjoy being with community. So that's the reason to be there.
Okay, and Pallavi.
Yeah, I think that you will be incredibly inspired by all of the work that the filmmakers are doing and the amount of support that is available if you are interested in a creative industry like the film industry. So I feel like this is a great pathway. ISAFF is a great pathway, and we look forward to meeting all of you.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being with us today. ISAFF, September 25th to 29th. We'll see all of you there. Thank you so much for watching. I'm your host, Sonia West.